Hello everyone, welcome to my show. I'm the Empath, and today we have Bible Babble. So, last we left off, we were in Exodus 31. Yeah. So, craftsmen for the tent of the Lord's presence. The Lord said to Moses, I have chosen Bezalel, the son of Uri and grandson of Hur, from the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with my power. I have given him understanding, skill, and ability for every kind of artistic work, for planning skillful designs and working them in gold, silver, and bronze, for cutting jewels to be set, for carving wood, and for every other kind of artistic work. I have also selected Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, from the tribe of Dan, to work with him. I have also given great ability to all other skillful craftsmen, so that they can make everything I have commanded to be made. The tent of my presence, the covenant box and its lid, all the furnishings of the tent, the table and its equipment, the lampstand of pure gold and all its equipment, the altar for burning incense, the altar for burnt offerings and all its equipment, the wash basin and its base, the magnificent priestly garments for Aaron and his sons to use when they serve as priests, the anointing oil, and the sweet-smelling incense for the holy place. In making all these things, they are to do exactly as I have commanded you. Sabbath, the day of rest. The Lord commanded Moses to tell the people of Israel, Keep the Sabbath, my day of rest, because it is a sign between you and me for all time to come, to show that I, the Lord, have made you my own people. You must keep the day of rest, because it is sacred. Whoever does not keep it, but works on that day, is to be put to death. See, that's another thing in the Bible where we don't apply everything of the Bible now, because there are plenty of people who still go to work on Sundays, and we're not stoning them, now are we? Yes, I get it, there's immature people who are going to make comments about people getting stoned, yada yada. However, I would like to point out that I don't work on the Sabbath because I work at Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays, so Roo-hoo for me, Scoob. Anyway, you have 6 days in which to do your work, but the seventh day is a solemn day of rest, dedicated to me. Whoever does any work on that day is to be put to death. The people of Israel are to keep this day as a sign of the covenant. It is a permanent sign between the people of Israel and me, because I, the Lord, made heaven and earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day I stopped working and rested. Now, that doesn't necessarily, like, if you're gonna follow the Bible literally and everything, God's not saying that you're not allowed to do anything. You have to lay in bed and not move a muscle. No, it's just rest. Don't go into work. Don't go off and do job type stuff. Just relax. Whatever relaxing is to you, then relax. Don't go into work. Don't go try to find some secondary job to do or something. Just relax. 'Tis all it says. That is the best of my understanding of it. But again, that doesn't quite apply. At least the punishment for it doesn't quite apply to us. I still think that there's something to the idea of, you work like at most 6 days out of a week, and then you take one day, preferably Sunday, to just relax. Take it as a personal day. But we are not in the practice of that as a society, so if we tried that all of a sudden, it would screw over a whole bunch of things. Yeah. It is a good concept if only we could figure out a way to carefully apply it. That'd be nice. When God had finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 stone tablets on which God himself had written the commandments. The gold bull calf, chapter 32. When the people saw that Moses had not come down from the mountain, but was staying there a long time, they gathered around Aaron and said to him, We do not know what has happened to this man, Moses, who led us out of Egypt. So make us a god to lead us. Aaron said to them, "Take off the gold earrings which your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me." So all the people took off their gold earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took the earrings, melted them, poured the gold into a mold, and made a gold bull calf. See, even the first, priest of, at least of our religion, is kind of made an idol because the people asked him to. So, kind of dropped the ball on there, Aaron. God was really kind of rooting for you. The people said, "Israel, this is our God, who led us out of Egypt." Can we take a moment to consider how stupid that sounds? That would be like if you made a little clay dude and said that little clay dude is the one who has been reading this Bible stuff to you so far instead of me on my channel that you're watching now. That's kind of the level of stupid that is. Ay. It hadn't quite clicked initially, that part of how stupid they were, until reading it just now. Then Aaron built an altar in front of the gold bull and announced, "Tomorrow there will be a festival to honor the Lord." Early the next morning they brought some animals to burn as sacrifices and others to eat as fellowship offerings. People sat down to a feast, which turned into an orgy of drinking and sex. Wow. That escalated quickly. We haven't seen Moses for a while. We want a new God. Let's make a golden bull. Because we made this golden bull, that's the one who led us out of Egypt. A gold bull that we made just now led us out of Egypt back then. Let's celebrate by sacrificing to it and then everybody getting drunk and having sex together. Wisdom! In case you can't tell, that's wisdom. Good. I'm gonna say that. I'm going to say wisdom every single time the people in here do something ridiculously stupid. That's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be my thing, okay? If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm gonna do for now. Let's do that in general every time there's something stupid that happens. Just in general, on any video I make. The Lord said to Moses, "Hurry and go back down, because your people whom you led out of Egypt have sinned and rejected me." See, you can't get stuff past God. Not like that. No. They have already left the way that I commanded them to follow. They have made a bull calf out of melted gold and have worshipped it and offered sacrifices to it. They are saying that this is their God who led them out of Egypt. I know how stubborn these people are. Now don't try to stop me. I am angry with them, and I am going to destroy them. Then I will make you and your descendants into a great nation. See, to a degree, that sounds logical, in the sense that, start over because these people are fracked up. But then Moses is like, but then it says, Moses pleaded with the Lord his God and said, "Lord, why should you be so angry with your people whom you rescued from Egypt with great might and power? Why should the Egyptians be able to say that you led your people out of Egypt, planning to kill them in the mountains and destroy them completely? Stop being angry. Change your mind and do not bring this disaster on your people." So this is, again, another situation where people influenced the decisions of God. Where, he was going to just wipe out all of those people. And Moses said, "I don't think you should do that, God. That's just going to mess with what you're already doing. You say, how's it going to look for you if you save these people only to kill them?" I mean, then again, to be perfectly fair about it, it would have been because they sinned against him. So, still going with the idea of you do wrong by me, it's not going to end well for you. But then that gives God the look of a tyrant, so. Eh. And God's all about love. Not, I'm going to murder you all and rule you and blah ha ha. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember the solemn promise you made to them to give them as many descendants as there are stars in the sky, and to give their descendants all that land you promised would be their possession forever. So, thanks to Moses, all these people didn't die. And I bet there's some of you who are like, yeah, well, if they died, then maybe there wouldn't be as much sin because maybe they would have gotten it right again. But then again, nothing around us, virtually nothing around us would be the same. I doubt it. It would be a very low probability considering how drastic of a change that would be. And that's, again, there's no guarantee that it won't just keep happening again and again, I mean, heck, yeah, flood that wiped out everybody. He tried it with Noah, and, well, here it's coming again with Moses, and not any better results. So, yeah. So the Lord changed his mind and did not bring on his people the disaster he had threatened. Moses went back down the mountain carrying the 2 stone tablets with the commandments written on both sides. God himself had made the tablets and had engraved the commandments on them. Joshua heard the people shouting and said to Moses, I hear the sound of battle in the camp. Moses said, that doesn't sound like a shout of victory or a cry of defeat. It's the sound of singing. When Moses came close enough to the camp to see the bull calf and to see the people dancing, he became furious. There at the foot of the mountain, he threw down the tablets he was carrying and broke them. Wisdom. See, it bothers me when people do that. I mean, I get it's a thing, but I feel like there are some people who let loose like that way too often. And besides, God already told them what they were doing. So the fact that he broke the God's stone tablets, it's kind of a dumb move. But whatever. He took the bull calf which they had made, melted it, and ground it into fine powder, and mixed it with water. Then he made the people of Israel drink it. He said to Aaron, What did these people do to you, that you have made them commit such a terrible sin? Aaron answered, Don't be angry with me. You know how determined these people are to do evil. Doesn't mean that you let them. They said to me, We don't know what has happened to this man, Moses, who brought us out of Egypt, so make us a god to lead us. I asked them to bring me their gold ornaments, and those who had any took them off and gave them to me. I threw the ornaments into the fire, and out came this bull calf. No. You melted them down and made them into a mold. Don't be saying that the cow sprang forth out of the fire. No, Aaron. No. Moses saw that Aaron had let the people get out of control and make fools of themselves in front of their enemies. So he stood at the gate of the camp and shouted, Everyone who is on the Lord's side, come over here. So all the Levites gathered around him. And he said to them, The Lord God of Israel commands every one of you to put on your sword and go through the camp from this gate to the other and to kill your brothers, your friends, and your neighbors. The Levites obeyed and killed about 3,000 men that day. Moses said to the Levites, Today you have consecrated yourselves as priests in the service of the Lord by killing your sons and brothers. So the Lord has given you his blessing. But Moses, you told God not to kill them. And then you make the Levites kill them. Moses. Chock full of wisdom today. The next day Moses said to the people, You have committed a terrible sin, but now I will... Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused now. How are there... Oh, maybe I think what either that's as many as they killed in one day, and like the ones who survived were let to go, or maybe the Bible just wasn't clear, and like the Levites came over, and they were the ones that he commanded, but there were other children as well. I'm just going to read. The next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a terrible sin. Now I will again go up the mountain to the Lord. Perhaps I can obtain forgiveness for your sin." Moses then returned to the Lord and said, "These people have committed a terrible sin." God knows. He's the one who told you before you went down the mountain and saw. They made a god out of gold and worshipped it. Please forgive their sin, but if you won't, then remove my name from the book in which you have written the names of your people. Moses, he already told you this. Were you not paying attention? Good Lord. The Lord answered, "It is those who have sinned against me whose names I will remove from my book. Now go, lead the people to the place I told you about. Remember that my angel will guide you. But the time is coming when I will punish these people for their sin." So the Lord sent a disease on the people because they had caused Aaron to make the gold bull calf. The Lord orders Israel to leave Mount Sinai. Chapter 33. The Lord said to Moses, "Leave this place, you and the people you brought out of Egypt, and go to the land that I promised to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to their descendants. I will send an angel to guide you, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. You are going to a rich and fertile land, but I will not go with you myself, because you are a stubborn people, and I might destroy you on the way." That's almost a God sense of humor. You're stubborn. If I go with you, I'm probably gonna kill you on the way. So just go. I mean, he's probably to a degree being serious, but still, that's kind of a funny God moment. When the people heard this, they began to mourn and did not wear jewelry anymore. For the Lord had commanded Moses to tell them, "You are a stubborn people. If I were to go with you, even for a moment, I would completely destroy you. Now take off your jewelry, and I will decide what to do with you." So after they left Mount Sinai, the people of Israel no longer wore jewelry. Well, the whole jewelry thing makes sense, considering that's what they made their little bull calf out of. Still, just reading that, I find it a bit funny. Y'all are stubborn. If I go with you, I'm gonna kill you on the way. So just, y'all can go by yourselves. The tent of the Lord's presence. Wherever the people of Israel set up camp, Moses would take the sacred tent and put it up some distance outside the camp. It was called the tent of the Lord's presence, and anyone who wanted to consult the Lord would go out to it. Whenever Moses went out there, the people would stand at the door of their tents and watch Moses until he entered it. After Moses had gone in, the pillar of cloud would come down and stay at the door of the tent, and the Lord would speak to Moses from the cloud. As soon as the people saw the pillar of cloud at the door of the tent, they would bow down. The Lord would speak with Moses face to face, just as a man speaks with a friend. Then Moses would return to the camp. The young man who was his helper, Joshua, son of Nun, stayed in the tent. Okay. That seemed kind of just factual. Okay. The Lord promises to be with his people. Moses said to the Lord, "It is true that you have told me to lead these people to that land, but you did not tell me whom you would send with me. You have said that you know me well and are pleased with me. Now if you are, tell me your plans so that I may serve you and continue to please you. Remember also that you have chosen this nation to be your own." The Lord said, "I will go with you, and I will give you victory." Moses replied, "If you do not go with us, don't make us leave this place. How will anyone know that you are pleased with your people and with me if you do not go with us? Your presence with us will distinguish us. From any other people on earth." Sorry for barking. Luna, please stop. The Lord said to Moses, "I will do just as you have asked, because I know you very well, and I am pleased with you." Then Moses requested, "Please let me see the dazzling light of your presence." The Lord answered, I will make all my splendor pass before you and in your presence. I will pronounce my sacred name. I am the Lord, and I show compassion and pity on those I choose. I will not let you see my face, because no one can see me and stay alive. But there is a place beside me where you can stand on a rock. Oh, pardon me. I know I like this anytime I read for long periods of time. I will put you in an opening in the rock, and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take my hand away, and you will see my back, but not my face. Strut, God. Strut. Should I read one more? Should I? Do you want me to read one more? Alright, I'll read one more. Just so I've done 4 and such. And it'll end me on a 5, and yay, and such. The second set of stone tablets. Chapter 34. The Lord said to Moses, "Cut 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on them the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Get ready tomorrow morning and come up Mount Sinai to meet me there at the top. No one is to come up with you. No one is to be seen on any part of the mountain, and no sheep or cattle are to graze at the foot of the mountain." So Moses cut 2 more stone tablets, and early the next morning he carried them up Mount Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded. Alright, think about it. Like, because these wouldn't be any namby-pamby stone tablets. These would be, like, they would be big. Like, I'm trying to, okay, I have something. Basically, like, what I picture, imagine this pillow made entirely of stone. I mean, you've seen some of the images and such. So, if that's the kind of tablet that he's having to carve and carry up the mountain, Moses is strong. I mean, that's kind of impressive. Moses is not a person I want to mess. Yeah. Yes, it's not a person I want. It's not a person I want to mess with. Not meth. Literally. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Partially because I don't know where it was. Oh. The Lord came down in a cloud, stood with him there, and pronounced his holy name, the Lord. The Lord then passed in front of him and called out, "I, the Lord, am a God who is full of compassion and pity, who is not easily angered, and who shows great love and faithfulness. I keep my promise for thousands of generations, and forgive evil and sin, but I will not fail to punish children and grandchildren to the 3rd and 4th generation for the sins of their parents." Moses quickly bowed down to the ground and worshipped. He said, "Lord, if you really are pleased with me, I ask you to go with us. These people are stubborn, but forgive our evil and our sin, and accept us as your own people." The covenant is renewed. The Lord said to Moses, "I now make a covenant with the people of Israel. In their presence I will do great things such as have never been done anywhere on earth among any of the nations. All the people will see what great things I, the Lord, can do, because I am going to do an awesome thing for you." God says awesome. That's awesome. I didn't realize that God said awesome. "Obey the laws that I am giving you today. I will drive out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites as you advance." So many ites. "Do not make any treaties with the people of the country into which you are going. Because this could be a fatal trap for you." It's a trap! "Instead, tear down their altars, destroy their sacred pillars, and cut down their symbols of the goddess Asherah. Do not worship any other god, because I, the Lord, tolerate no rivals. Do not make any treaties with the people of the country, because when they worship their pagan gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you to join them, and you will be tempted to eat the food they offer to their gods. Your sons might marry those foreign women who would lead them to be unfaithful to me and to worship their pagan gods. Do not make gods of metal and worship them. Keep the festival of unleavened bread as I have commanded you. Eat unleavened bread for 7 days in the month of Abib, because it was in that month that you left Egypt. Every firstborn son and firstborn male, domestic male domestic animal belongs to me. But you are to buy back every firstborn donkey by offering a lamb in its place. If you do not buy it back, break its neck. Buy back every firstborn son. No one is to appear before me without an offering. You have 6 days in which to do your work, but do not work on the seventh day, not even during plowing time or harvest. Keep the harvest festival when you begin to harvest the first crop of your wheat, and keep the festival of shelters in the autumn when you gather your fruit. 3 times a year all of your men must come to worship me, the Lord, the God of Israel, after I have driven out the nations before you and extended your territory, and one will try to conquer your country during the 3 festivals. Do not offer bread made with yeast when you sacrifice an animal to me. Do not keep it until the following morning any part of the animal killed the Passover festival. Each year bring to the house of the Lord the first grain that you harvest. Do not cook a young sheep or goat in its mother's milk. The Lord said to Moses, "Write these words down, because it is on the basis of these words that I am making a covenant with you and with Israel." Moses stayed there with the Lord 40 days and nights, eating and drinking nothing. He wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. Moses goes down from Mount Sinai. When Moses went down from Mount Sinai carrying the 10 Commandments, his face was shining because he had been speaking with the Lord, but he did not know it. Aaron and all the people looked at Moses and saw that his face was shining, and they were afraid to go near him. But Moses called them, and Aaron and all the leaders of the community went to him, and Moses spoke with them. After that, all the people of Israel gathered around him, and Moses gave them all the laws that the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. When Moses had finished speaking with them, he covered his face with a veil. Whenever Moses went into the tent of the Lord's presence to speak to the Lord, he would take the veil off. When he came out, he would tell the people of Israel everything that he had been commanded to say, and they would see that his face was shining. Then he would put the veil back on until the next time he went to speak with the Lord. That's actually a pretty clever thing, because then every time he'd come out and tell them what the Lord said, they would know the Lord told him because his face was shining. And I'm presuming it's like a glowing sort of shine, like my face is a flashlight sort of shine. So that's actually pretty clever. Clever job, Moses. Clever job. But that's all I'm going to do for today. So thank you for watching. Like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe to become a VIP today. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day.